Hello and welcome to a completely fresh, brand new edition of Simply Electric for you today. This time it's not purely electric because there are still people who say, I think the Taycan is absolutely awesome and amazing, but I'm not ready to make the switch to fully electric just yet. I need a conventional drive, but I'm willing to prepare for electric driving and use it daily in my everyday life. However, I still want a combustion engine because its performance and sound are unmatched. When it comes to long-haul trips, long-distance travel, 1, 2, 3, 4 times a year on vacation or for a weekend getaway. And you're certainly looking for a limousine that offers utmost travel comfort. And here we have exactly that with the brand new Porsche Panamera. 4S ehybrid. Ehybrid means you have the ability to drive up to 92 kilometers purely on electric power. Porsche has significantly increased the battery capacity, thereby also extending the electric range. So basically you have 90% of the time an electric car for everyday use, and for long trips, a nice 6-cylinder that hopefully still sounds great to cover long distances with a hybrid or combustion engine depending on conditions. Today we'll review it with a driving report, test the interior noise levels, and the 0 to 100 acceleration in 3.7 seconds. I'd say definitely check if you're part of the Simple Electric community. If not, please do subscribe to our channel. Let's get started now. With the brand new Panamera 4S ehybrid, any car connoisseur knows we're at the famous Porsche Center Magdeburg, renowned for its exquisite cars. And as always, we begin from the exterior, starting from the front with the absolutely brand new Porsche Panamera 4S ehybrid. Porsche has, so to speak, given it a new model generation, and with that, I think a more performant and sportier look that captures attention and sets new design standards in the industry. And we can clearly see that right here at the bottom in the front bumper area. Porsche is always conservative, making only slight changes in design and details to enchant and captivate its traditionally conservative Swabian audience with the latest sporty genes. Beautiful daytime running lights and optional HD matrix LED headlights are available. I definitely recommend these for better nighttime visibility and enhanced safety, especially if you often drive in low light conditions. Especially at night, the headlights are absolutely outstandingly brilliant and new. How could it possibly be any different with such a deep black metallic colored car? To proudly showcase a nice black satin finish rim that adds a stylish touch to the car. Colorful Porsche crest. What dimensions do we have up front, Stefan?
275 on 21 inches.
Wow, holy moly. I could definitely imagine he's really into using mixed tires, which makes sense to put that impressive system power of 544 HP effectively on the road. System performance, because we have the purely electric drive with 140 kilowatt or 190 HP plus a petrol engine, 6 cylinders with 353 HP. You can't just add that up, it gets systemically added. More on that later when we discuss the technical details. All-wheel drive on board, we've got a 4S ehybrid, and back here at the rear, Porsche has also brought the Panamera into the new era. I think it really gave him a nice solid kick right in the ass. Don't you agree with that, Stefan?
Yeah, it's cool.
That means we have a slightly similar light strip here, perhaps inspired by the Porsche Taycan. Nice to see here the distinctive Porsche lettering, which you can of course also get in a sleek black finish if you prefer that option. And here at the back, we have a small rear spoiler because the large rear wing is reserved for the Turbo and the GTS. And here's a special feature. We've installed the sports exhaust system with unique custom covers in a glossy finish that makes the car stand out beautifully. That's obviously really, really awesome. And of course, later on, we most certainly want to properly listen into how the Panamera sounds like when it's in full throttle mode. Yeah, today here in Magdeburg at the Porsche Center, it's windy, adding to the day's experience. So we already have coastal conditions, right, Stefan? Yes.
We're from northern Germany, we know this.
It's 5.05 meters long, 1.93 meters wide, 3 centimeters narrower than a Taycan. However, with the exterior mirrors included, it extends to 2.16 meters in width. In terms of height, it is 1.42 meters tall. For example, the Taycan stands at 140 meters in height, and the Panamera is just a little bit higher than that. Here, we are discussing a luxurious travel sedan that is equipped with an advanced air suspension system, which provides you the utmost comfort combined with maximum sportiness. Comparing it to the Panamera, it's notably sportier than the 7 Series BMW, offering better handling, more power, and increased agility. What? The S-Class is like a cushy ride that glides around, and the Audi is caught somewhere in between. So in that regard, the Panamera is for sporty, high-performance self-drivers in the luxury travel sedan segment. The fintech sector, I believe, is the latest hot trend and has been incredibly popular for many years now. We want to look under the front hood with you, not just to check if it has a frunk, but to see what extraordinary things are hidden here that might surprise and interest you. We have exhaust hoods, that's how it's supposed to be. We have a strut bar here, which is supposed to stabilize the swaying of the vehicle a bit. And we have a V6 turbocharged Otto engine with 353 horsepower and 500 Newton meters of torque. Stefan, I'll just pass behind you briefly because I'd really like to explain and discuss what we have back here in greater detail. Behind it sits the dual clutch transmission with the electric drive in between for smooth, efficient power. That means the electric drive has another 140 kilowatt of 190 horsepower, so we have a total system output of 544 horsepower. Otto engine, 500 Newton meters of torque, electric motor, 450 Newton meters, which means we will show later that it also has real electric power. That would add up to 950 Newton meters, but it's a bit throttled because otherwise we might not even get it on the road. So we have a solid 800 Newton meters of torque here, which means 0 to 100 in 3.7 seconds, top speed of 290 km/h. That means for the express drivers on the left lane, which thankfully is also possible in Germany, the Panamera offers an impressive and substantial amount of power. And yes, what works manually and can be used
Goes manually.
I don't even dare to do a hood check on such a high-end car.
Or you do it gently.
No.
Okay then. 3, 2, 1.
For the electric drive, we need a battery pack that is installed in the rear of the vehicle. It has a gross capacity of 25.9 kilowatt hours, of which 21.8 kilowatt hours are usable, ensuring efficiency and optimal performance for longer drives. Achieved, so it basically has a WLTP range of 82 kilometers on land and 92 kilometers in the city, making it quite efficient for everyday use. And we know at Porsche that these are also values we can achieve in everyday life. Charging is done back here on the driver's side with the Type 2 connector at a home wall box or at a public charging station with 3-phase 11 key double O. This is a crucial step, so you can actually go from completely empty to completely full in just 2.7 hours. Can charge the battery at 11 kilowatt 3-phase. What is missing for our test vehicle, and I hope Porsche will provide this in the future, is the CCS connection. Because many of you say, man, with a hybrid, I also want to use the electric motor on long trips. We're taking a coffee break, the dog needs to pee, the kids want to play, the wife wants a snack, so you drive to the fast charging station at 50, 60 kilowatt, as is common with other plug-in hybrids nowadays, can also recharge the battery, and in half an hour, like for example, yes, even with Mercedes, you can charge the battery from 0 to 100%. I would also like that to be available in the Panamera, of course. Feel free to write in the comments if it is now available for order. And what Porsche does really well is not only installing a large battery, but also still having a large fuel tank. It's on the passenger side and holds 80 liters of premium gasoline, which is ideal for long trips and journeys. Super Plus is crucial because it ensures top engine performance with at least 98 octane, maintaining efficiency and power. We've installed a high-performance 6-cylinder engine that enhances the vehicle's performance. And I can always only recommend that you use at least 98 octane gasoline. We want to have a look into the trunk, into the rear compartment together with you. And Porsche naturally solves this electrically, but with the Panamera, we always have a relatively high entry barrier here. This is done for safety reasons because Porsche naturally always wants to be one of the safest vehicles. And there's crash safety first. A flat loading entry is a priority. Yes, we have 430 liters of trunk volume here, which is somewhat similar to the Porsche Taycan, at least when it comes to sport tourism or cross tourism, but we are missing 84 liters in the front because of the combustion engine. Unfortunately, that's the reality.
Yeah.
Additionally, you have the option of folding down the back seat in this vehicle as well, of course, which can be quite handy for transporting larger items or increasing the available storage space. Then in the middle, that means if you have a long item or are going on a ski trip, you can fold down the 20% here in the middle so that you have a pass-through. And if that's not enough, you can also fold down 40% of both the passenger and driver sides, providing you with a total storage volume of 1264 liters, which is perfect for larger items or any extensive trip. That might be crucial for you, that you can take a larger item with you. If Stefan steps back a bit and zooms out, then you can see the entire loading volume again, especially with the high hatchback and not just a small loading opening. Just like in the Taycan sedan, you really have the option to slide something big through here because the parcel shelf can of course be removed. What opens electrically closes electrically. That's how it should be with the Panamera's features. Optionally, you naturally still have the roof load for the roof rack with 75 kilograms. But what I haven't discovered is a trailer hitch, right?
What?
Doesn't the Panamera driver use a trailer? Or did we just overlook it now? Feel free to write it in the comments. Outside, we've shown you absolutely everything. Let's move on to the interior. And here, let's first check if it has single or double glazing. Here it should also be optional. Noise and thermal insulation glass with 2 panes and a film in between. Then maybe also combined with privacy glass. That will probably add roughly 1,300 euros more as an extra cost. Let's take a closer look to see if it has soft closed doors. It doesn't have them, does it? Well, our test subject has a gross list price of 169,000 euros here in this specific configuration. And let's take it chronologically. Leather upholstery, that means full leather, everything nicely covered up here. With the contrasting seam because we have a two-tone interior. Two-tone means black combined with Kalahari gray. And I have to tell you, Kalahari gray is a new color that, in my opinion, here in the sun leans more towards a beige tone and doesn't appear as cold as chalk. Chalk was always so cold and I never liked it, but Kalahari gray, I'm telling you, is a hidden gem. Everything here is covered in leather once more, nicely stitched down here, using the finest soft plastic material, and of course with a rubber lining. Stylish, Stefan, right? Yes, absolutely.
Has something to it.
Of course, a Bose sound system is a must. Come in, let's check out the new dashboard. It's impressive and packed with tech enhancing the drive. A warm welcome here inside the brand new Panamera 4 SE Hybrid. And as you can see, full leather upholstery. That's always the most luxurious option you can have. Nice in Kalahari gray stitching, perfectly matching the bicolor scheme. I have to say, this is classy, this is chic, and this is undoubtedly one of the most premium and exquisite interiors that money can buy. Above that, maybe Bentley and certainly Rolls-Royce, but here we reach the pinnacle of German automotive craftsmanship, showcasing technical precision and luxury. On board is the optional head-up display, which is again very nicely modern in design, including a prominent tachometer. That's what the performance driver wants to see in a head-up display. And not just the speed and maybe navigation hints. Yes, the curved display, which was introduced in the Taycan, is now also being incorporated into the Panamera through the Cayenne. I just find it super awesome. But where I'm torn, and this is where I need your help, is whether one needs an analog tachometer. So, would you prefer an analog tachometer here? Please write that in the comments. Or do you find this digital setup cool? I'm totally undecided. Anyway, you have everything clearly visible here without any round instruments. Get the maximum info. You can also bring up the full navigation map here. I think that's already a significant improvement over the predecessor. Yes, we have a nice GT steering wheel here with steering wheel heating, of course, and paddle shifters, where we have haptic buttons, the drive mode switch, where we can choose between e-power, purely electric driving, the hybrid mode, hybrid, and the sports mode, which is a bit sportier, giving a more dynamic driving experience. Then the combustion engine kicks in right away, or of course Sport Plus. When it comes to performance, because we were at Oschersleben with the Taycan on the racetrack, and there was also an old Panamera driving along. I rode along once too, and it was an absolute blast, a truly thrilling experience. This is a car that scales between offering maximum travel comfort for long hauls and delivering high performance when you want to kick it up a notch. Yes, let's move on. Here we have the very nice infotainment display with colorful tiles of the latest generation. Everything here is fast and functions well, especially when we zoom in and out. You see this right here. This is really, well, Porsche for you. What's going on today, right? Come on now, let's figure this out. So, what's truly adapted to the latest generation, where you can also choose, where you can easily integrate Apple CarPlay, where you can integrate Spotify or even Apple Podcasts, I think. This is just awesomely done. Plus, you get wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto integration. We are still here at the Porsche Center Magdeburg, showcasing the truly impressive quality of Porsche's vehicles and services. The manual air vents on the right and left have disappeared and are now arranged in the center. Especially this central element here, that's new. Think back to the first Panamera generation with its 25,000 switches. They then softened that a bit with the climate control element. Those vents that opened and closed really looked quite stylish, didn't they?
Looks stylish.
Now, the latest generation, where you can naturally then also in the climate menu here via the touchscreen, not only controls the central vent, but also the outer ones, allowing you to adjust the airflow between gentle and strong settings to avoid being uncomfortably blasted with air. Additionally, there's also the central ventilation unit, which you can turn off if not needed. You have full leeway to decide where you want to be blown, providing optimal comfort tailored to you. And that's obviously really awesome because with touch, you sort of have an idea where it's going to end up. And before, you always had to adjust it a bit manually. One disadvantage is if you want to adjust it while driving, you'll be distracted, because that way I could always adjust something earlier. Well, not here in the middle of the Panamera, but in other vehicles. Now I need this menu. What do you think, Stefan? That's a distraction.
This is a bit more complicated than that.
Yes. And what I really don't understand about Porsche, my dear friends, is that there's this huge glossy piano black surface once again. The car has just a delicate, barely used 12 kilometers on it. Already the first light micro scratches, which you can probably still polish out. There are at least some fingerprints on it when I touch it here. You can see it here. And that's not nice. They could have used a different material mix somehow. Here we have another storage compartment where a large smartphone can be charged inductively and also cooled to prevent overheating. We have USB-C ports, a coin compartment, cup holders, and a noise meter, which is very important because we want to check how loud or quiet this vehicle is. And here we have a very, very nice large center armrest, which again contains a decent compartment, which you can of course also divide here again if you need it, so nothing rustles and nothing clatters. Everything is nicely lined with felt, which is all very, very good. But this piano lacquer look here, that's not really my thing. I mean, sure, you'll somehow still get carbon fiber and other things, wood and whatnot here, Jipper Porsche. But something like piano lacquer, what do you say?
It's not for me either, all that constant touching stuff.
But what I definitely know is yours, Stefan, because I know you so well, is of course this huge, awesome panoramic glass sunroof, which is cleverly divided into two distinct sections for both the rear and front passengers to enjoy. And what you of course have here right now, as the bright sun comes out in Magdeburg, here at the Porsche Center Magdeburg, the sun and Haltinian air comes in, but it's not quite as fresh as it is here in Mecklenburg, right?
No, not really.
Oh, I will trust it. The view through the passenger door once again shows you this stunning Kalahari grey. I'm curious to see how you rate this. Very, very nice here, wrapped up in a proper sports seat, although this is still the comfort seat. There is also the optional adaptive sport seat, but here we still have maximum support in the thigh area. Good lateral support in the lumbar region, the shoulder padding and the integrated headrest. One thing that definitely can't be missing is the Porsche crest. It absolutely belongs there so that you know you're in a genuine Zuffenhausen sports car. By the way, the ceiling is standard black here. Of course, you can also cover it with race tax or Alcantara. So you see, the 169,000 euro gross list price of our test subject is just the start, not the end. Here, we also have very, very nice leather from the leather upholstery. We have a very, very nice glove compartment, then also lined with felt, as it should be. Porsche, of course, is on the highest level there. Yes, right here sits the big fat dual clutch transmission, and compared to the Taycan, there's no room. It's all wider. Space is lost with the conventional drive through the gearbox. What else could have been utilized in a better way? And what the configurator has done terribly wrong in this car, but I, of course, have done absolutely right in the Taycan 4-Cross Turismo. The car, unfortunately, doesn't come with seat ventilation. Stefan, how can anyone configure a car like that? I'm disappointed.
No.
What are you filming again? GT4 RS is here. Yeah, just because you raced around the track in Oschersleben yesterday doesn't mean you have to stay focused on the Panamera. Watch the entire video, it's really awesome. Where Stefan really tears it up with high performance in a GT4 RS on the DTM track in Oschersleben, because we want to check out the rear with you. That's because in the past there was the Panamera executive exclusive, which also had an extended wheelbase for all those who wanted to be chauffeured around, but apparently that actually didn't generate the expected demand. I believe that's why they discontinued the long wheelbase, as far as I know, because the Panamera is a self-driving car. You'll notice that in the driving report. You're eager to test drive it, call it your own, and smoothly switch to that exciting new model, because it's just so much fun. What we don't have is the Porsche F Active Ride chassis. I have to mention that here. It costs at least 8,400 euros extra, and it will raise the car to make the entry height easier for you. I'll explain everything about the active ride later in the driving report. Now let's hop into the Panamera, and it's quite an entry. You need to duck a little due to the coupe-style roofline, and then it goes smoothly. Quite a decent seating arrangement. Well, that does look quite classy. So I've got plenty of space here when the passenger seat is fixed to the B-pillar, like we always do. Of course, you have less space in the front, but if I, with my 1.85 meters and 99.9 kilos, sit all the way in the back, there's not much room behind me. Yeah.
That's bad.
And I really wonder if there are still dedicated and talented people at Porsche who still have the ability to meticulously design rear center armrests with both effectiveness and care.
Well, we criticize that in almost everyone.
So how did this idea come about? It's about comfort, it's about travel dynamics. And as a tall person, and sure, maybe I'm a bit overweight, no question about it, you can feel free to criticize and comment on that. His chubby cheek, all good, I'll get over it eventually, but I don't want to sit here with my elbow in the cup holder, do I? No.
That doesn't look good.
Huh? How does that work? So that means I can only lean it back a little bit here, like in a VW Transporter. That's just not enough luxury for me. That's just not enough comfort, Porsche. If the cup holder, which one could have possibly integrated right here, ends up compromising the seat comfort, then it's good night. Yes, otherwise we have an emergency seat here and this 2+1 seat arrangement, which is good. What we don't have is the 4-zone climate control. We saved on that. We have rear seat heating, but no rear seat cooling, manual air vents, and 2 USB-C ports back here, perhaps for a smartphone, a tablet, or other devices that passengers might need during their journey. To load, yes, otherwise we have here with the bicolor Kalahari grey with black, of course, one of the top leather equipment forms, where we also have nice leather upholstery in the back. Here with the offset seam, that's super classy. I believe you can even get this in carbon fiber, at least on the 911. And here is a small net for conveniently storing a tablet or phone. We have 2 ISOFIX child seat fixings on the driver and passenger sides. And of course, look here, Stefan, the Porsche emblem at the back.
Oh, look.
The Panamera driver faces a tough choice. Is it going to be luxury or just plastic? The decision isn't easy.
Well,
because here in the Kalahari grey leather trim, it's really nicely upholstered. That's also classy, and it doesn't really rattle here. Down here is the hard plastic we have with the standard seat upholstery, which is cool with Porsche. We also have air vents in the B-pillar, and here's the plastic. See, they saved on this part. Why is there no leather? Because you have to pay extra for it. And see how the seatbelt rattles here? That means if you're driving alone and the passenger seat is empty and you drive over cobblestones, write it in the comments, try it out. Does the seatbelt on the passenger side rattle? And I really wonder, how can something like that possibly happen in such a luxury car, Stefan?
well, that's really not pleasant at all.
Otherwise, a black headliner. Another shade here helps keep the harsh sun from constantly beating down on your head. I need to calm down first. I just can't get over it. Why would anyone put such hard plastic in such an awesome car? I simply cannot get over it. I genuinely have no idea. Before we begin with the drive review, I'm going to switch here to Sport Plus once more, truly hoping that the rear spoiler extends, but it doesn't, right?
He doesn't.
Oh, too bad. But we can do that manually in a moment because I really wanted to show you again what the toilet looks like from behind so you don't miss a thing. I'll just quickly go into the menu. Let's see if I can find it quickly now because it's obviously mega highlight when the spoiler retracts, because that's exactly the kind of view you get when you're driving behind a Panamera. That looks absolutely awesome. This isn't just a great fry station because I can totally recommend it. When you take a break at a gas station and stop at an American burger chain, you can enjoy delicious fries, burgers, and Coke for up to 4 people. Treat yourself to a tasty meal during your travels and enjoy some quality time. So the fries counter is good. I'll put it away again, right? Yes. That's truly my highlight, and of course it guarantees that you achieve the maximum amount of downforce possible. Is he coming in now, perhaps?
No.
Is it arriving now?
No.
But here on the display, the spoiler is deployed. Yes.
Well, he actually did go out, that's true.
I hit the spoiler, but it won't retract.
Well,
Somehow the touch isn't responding here. I don't know, it might be a glitch. For many, hearing the Sport exhaust startup sound truly enhances the driving experience. And of course, we have it activated here because it's really quite a nice, sporty 6-cylinder sound that you're experiencing, and many of you will likely appreciate it. And that's exactly what the combustion engine fans want, to still get a bit of that sports car feeling, because otherwise you might as well go fully electric, and purists don't want that. So don't forget the optional sports exhaust system, essential for enjoying a really good sound here as well. We're clear on the test drive, and we've activated the electric mode first for a quiet and smooth start right away. That means we're driving with e-power. We naturally switch to DV drive first, otherwise we can't get going, right?
That makes sense.
What I think is a forgotten gear selector is now up here next to the infotainment display, basically moved up from the center console, kind of oriented towards the Taycan. I think it's much better. Then there's no bump in the way here, although sometimes you could use the bump as an armrest, right? Ergonomics fit perfectly in the Panamera 4S e-hybrid. As a tall driver, I have ample space. The legroom and headroom are genuinely great, making long drives very comfortable. Of course, you have to mention that I have a nice distance here. You can, of course, adjust the steering wheel's distance and height to suit you. That's pretty much all standard in a Panamera. And we still have, if you look, Stefan, plenty of punch under the hood, ready to go at any time. We are driving entirely on electric power, and it accelerated smoothly to 50 miles per hour in just 3 seconds flat. That's truly the beauty of this hybrid technology. It blinks and drives seamlessly. So you can drive quickly and efficiently, electrically, both in the city and the countryside without any hassle. There's absolutely nothing worse than driving a Porsche Panamera purely on electric power and not getting anywhere at all. Yeah, and everyone else with their 50 HP Cinquecento, which is an awesome little car, don't get me wrong, zooms past you, making you feel incredibly slow. So you also need some additional electric punch here to stay fully competitive. So you can comfortably cruise on the expressway, and you have the option to drive purely electrically up to 140 km/h with the electric motor, which sits between the engine and the transmission. Then also use it accordingly. Yes, we definitely want to see with you if it can achieve 0 to 100 in 3.7 seconds. Unfortunately, we won't be able to reach the top speed of 290 km/h with you during this session. And here we are driving around with red license plates on a test drive because we naturally want to test with you how the Panamera 4S e-hybrid performs in everyday daily life and see how well it integrates into your routine driving habits. What we don't have here, of course, is the Porsche Active Ride suspension, but even without it, it remains comfortably firm when we stay within the lane. That means we have minimal sway motion, which the Active Ride compensates for, or can smoothly lean into the curve with you, enhancing the overall driving experience. Or, of course, can support you in a range of different situations. Entry assistance or Active Ride is the best air suspension system you can buy in vehicles, offering superior comfort and performance. And that also comes from the horse Porsche. What I strongly recommend configuring is the Porsche InnoDrive system in your car. Most drivers typically start with the adaptive cruise control, as it significantly improves both safety and comfort during drives. But InnoDrive is essentially the best you can get from Porsche right now, without a doubt. That means you have steering assistance, lane keeping assist, and optionally lane change assist, making driving safer and simpler. And you have a system that works predictively. This means it knows the route from navigation data, from the topography, it knows the curves and always takes the assumed speed in such a way so that it's really comfortable for you. You can see it automatically corrects itself back to the center of the lane if you let go of the steering wheel. And it ensures that when the speed is reduced, you drive at the new speed indicated by the sign, and when it is lifted, you return to the old speed. And that's truly semi-autonomous driving at its very best. I believe there's very little else on the market currently available that can do it better than the impressive Porsche InnoDrive system. Many of you rightly criticize that. In essence, you're driving with mixed propulsion systems, leading to complexity and occasional confusion for drivers. And I have to say, I am a convinced plug-in hybrid driver, not just because of the 0.5% taxation. That's certainly an advantage that some company drivers also take advantage of, but because you have both worlds. You can really drive quickly on long distances. With the combustion engine, you can drive hybrid when it's a longer mixed route, and you can drive fully electric in urban areas, so as not to harm the environment with exhaust fumes, especially not the people walking there to burden. So I think it's a good compromise.
Absolutely, I'm a fan of hybrids.
And what's also great about the hybrid, and that's why I show it to you in the videos, is that it's the entry into the electric world. Those who have actually experienced an electric plug-in hybrid, they end up feeling like 100% will go fully electric afterwards, right?
Yes, absolutely. Like I said, it's just a smooth ride.
Here we are in the rural Saxon-Anhalt, which we as people from Mecklenburg can say without worries, and we have the opportunity here, since there's little traffic, to test a few things with the Panamera, and I'd say to test out the basic air suspension system. We'll definitely do another video either with a Taycan or a Panamera to show what the Porsche Active Ride suspension can truly do. We're driving here at 70 km/h. The road is clear and open. We can actually do a nice cone test here, and you can really notice how firm but comfortable the car is and just how much seat support we get, providing an impressive level of comfort and stability to quickly and safely avoid potentially dangerous or hazardous situations whenever absolutely necessary. This is exactly what Porsche, as its best, can. So I don't actually know any brand, no Lamborghini, no Ferrari, nothing that installs such good chassis in all series vehicles as Porsche, right? Yes.
Porsche is truly a pioneer in that regard.
And this is not fishing for compliments. There's no gold bar on the back seat either. Just test drive a Porsche, do what I do on a suitable track where no other vehicles are around, like here with us in the Saxony-Anhalt countryside, ideal for a relaxed drive. And then you will come to realize if that I am right, and that you, I believe, will be fully convinced just by the suspension craftsmanship that Porsche offers in all its vehicles. We are standing here in the step and have started the Dragy, including its GPS antenna for you. And I have switched to Sport Plus. The combustion engine is warm, has operating temperature. Do a launch. Stefan, I'm activating launch control. You count down 3,
2, 1, go.
And 3.7 seconds, 50, 80, 100, and we do the brake test in the opposite direction, and you can really feel how the standard brakes grip and catapult us back in the opposite direction. 3.7 seconds as specified by the manufacturer. We were slightly uphill here, and the wheels and tires weren't at the optimal operating temperature. Just take a look. 3.72 seconds measured by GPS, 0 to 50 in 1.35 seconds, and 0 to 60 in 1.73 seconds. I tip my hat to you, Porsche, that you keep delivering from a standstill. It's simply sensational and truly impressive. And even if you don't have launch control and simply press down here, it still drives perfectly straight. And what you also have here is, you can look here, Stefan, enable the boost function for an extra 20 seconds with the Sport Response button, giving you a quick burst of power, and then you also get maximum performance. So I'm telling you, a Panamera, it's not just a luxury limo where you smoothly ride around, but also an exhilarating vehicle that lets you drive aggressively with an awesome sound that elevates your ride. You're hearing this through the sports exhaust system, which we've of course activated, and where you also have a bicycle in Sport Plus, which has even less roll movement. So I have to say, this is simply brilliant, Porsche. This is exactly how sport should be, just the way you imagine it in a series, with all the expected precision and performance. And now we have the e-power mode on with 140 kilo of 190 PS, which of course isn't as sporty, where we can't go 290, but only 140 purely electrically. But do you enjoy the peace and this quiet, comfortable gliding along effortlessly?
Combined power of both worlds.
And all that packed into a car, that must excite people. Such a plug-in hybrid, right?
There should be much more.
I would say, let's check the interior noise with you. We want to measure the interior noise at 50 km/h with you. (60, 61 decibels, making it 3-4 decibels louder than the Taycan. To be honest, that one didn't have double glazed windows either. We are driving at 70 km/h. 63, 64 decibels, they are really on par, and now we're accelerating electrically to 100 km/h together with you. That actually goes quite quickly in the Panamera. 70, 71 decibels, that's also a respectable value, but the Taycan has a slight edge here, doesn't it, Stefan?
Yeah, he was stingier.
The hybrid mode. You see, this is a hybrid car where the car essentially recognizes with its camera, its topography, its navigation knowledge, but also with your sensitivity of the accelerator pedal. Does it make sense to drive purely on electric with the current battery level like we are doing now? Or does it make sense to use the combustion engine for assistance? When is the combustion engine helpful, Stefan?
More for long distances, right?
Sure, of course, to cover long distances on one hand, but also to be able to quickly accelerate. That means we've now got maximum power in E mode. It can't move forward with the 2.2 tons. Use the combustion engine to assist, but then of course turn it off immediately and continue driving electrically. That means the car calibrates your driving to both drive types for minimal consumption, ensuring optimal performance and energy efficiency across different terrains. Now with launch, look Stefan, even though we've only driven a little, we're under 10 liters. And that with 544 horsepower system performance and 2.2 tons in a 5.5 meter long car. Those are just some seriously damn cool numbers indeed. Yeah, those are really good numbers. And so basically, you have the mix of electric drive and of course the combustion engine. And what you always have, and that's really cool, is that you also have the boost button here again. And for 20 seconds, it immediately switches to sport response mode. The RPM drops, the dual clutch transmission shifts accordingly so you can achieve maximum performance because you need to quickly overcome an obstacle and of course the sports exhaust system.
Nice sound.
What's obviously another highlight is that you can also manually shift the dual clutch transmission here very, very nicely. We are in manual mode, which means you can. And it also bubbles a bit after you release the throttle. Do you hear that? Yeah? Oh, that's just nice. I still like combustion engines, but just not in everyday life, Stefan. Enjoying a nice cappuccino at the ice cream parlor with the convertible on the weekend, going on a weekend trip, that should be allowed for all of us. But like I think in everyday life, when we're commuting to work, to the office, through the city, it's just really great to drive with zero emissions, to avoid punishing others with harmful emissions. And I think the true art lies in balancing sustainable choices with practicality in daily life. And then, of course, a plug-in hybrid in manual mode can be quite aggressive and the preferred choice for many who seek a blend of power and efficiency. And then you drive through the quaint village electrically, disturbing no one. We want to see how well you can park this 5.5 meter giant in an urban setting. We're testing that in the new Panamera 4S ehybrid, featuring a 360-degree camera system to help you maneuver and park easily. This advanced system provides a comprehensive view of your surroundings, making it simpler to navigate tight spaces. Look how quiet it is. Listen to us. It's just like back in the days of Tom Sawyer, right? Or Huckleberry Finn when we snuck up quietly. You have the nice guidelines, the side mirror folds down, and you can adjust it so that you don't end up scratching those fancy rims. Plus, you even have the front camera to assist you to see everything as best as possible. And of course, you also have the option to display different perspectives around the car, giving you a comprehensive view of your vehicle's surroundings. That's obviously a great story. You also have to keep the distance from the curb again. That's certainly always very important when we don't want to damage those beautiful, pristine, and quite expensive rims of our beloved car. And that's such a great story, how you once, I must say, it's just a bow, isn't it? Yes, it's really nice just to steer around the car. The Porsche Panamera is 10 centimeters longer than a Porsche Taycan, but has a 10 centimeter smaller turning circle, specifically 11.90 meters instead of 12 meters. Fully electric sounds good, doesn't it?
Yes.
What sounds even better, of course, is when we switch into Sport Plus mode right here and then take our time to cruise nicely around Stefan with the enhanced sports exhaust system. I have to say, a Panamera somehow, I haven't completely given up on the engine sound yet. What do you think, Stefan?
It sounds really nice, and honestly, I don't want to have to either.
Many of you probably take the highway on your way to work every now and then, especially during the busy morning rush hour traffic, just to save time. And that's something a plug-in hybrid must be able to do as well. So we just want to enjoy a small stretch of the highway with you, driving purely electric in e-power mode. And here you can clearly see that you are indeed able to quickly get onto the highway with the all-electric drive, maintaining good acceleration. You can accordingly accelerate. You have 140 kilowatt, 190 HP, and we're driving smoothly because a Panamera driver is more of a cruiser. Therefore, you can drive up to 140 km/h purely electric with ease, enjoying a calm and serene experience on your journey. You can see it on the tachometer, nothing's happening, and now theoretically we could maintain a nice 140 km/h here. And you can also see that the range isn't dropping rapidly, that you can truly trust it to reliably cover a significant distance using only electric power, even at a speed like 138 km/h without any issues. We're now driving 140 km/h purely electric as the spec permits. If we accelerate strongly now, there's a specific point on the gas pedal where the combustion engine kicks in for extra power, ensuring a smooth and seamless transition. And then it's super fun to switch to Sport Plus mode and take the Panamera for a spin on an open road, truly feeling its impressive power and responsiveness as you drive. To accelerate, and yes, even Sport Plus remains firmly comfortable, but it gives you that racing feel and lets you feel some bumps in the road, making the entire driving experience more engaging and thrilling for the enthusiast driver, where he is usually very comfortable, very smooth, and generally doesn't tend to notice much of anything perceptible coming up from the entire surface of the road beneath the vehicle itself. Yes, Stefan, I'll switch to hybrid mode so you can feel how the car handles the road and its dynamics. Tell us how you perceive this advanced air suspension system in the Panamera.
Yes, I like it a lot. I'm sitting here super comfortably, despite everything. Yeah, it's fun.
Now we're back in hybrid mode. I'm switching to Sport Plus again, and at 140, we want to do a kickdown acceleration. And that's where you really notice the hybrid performance, and of course the sports exhaust system, and he immediately goes up to 200 km/h. You can really have fun with the Panamera, right? It's thrilling, feeling the sheer power and speed as you drive. What do you think?
Absolutely.
The sound system with Bose is really quite nice, wouldn't you agree?
Yes, nice sound.
So Bose is, I think, a must-have, right?
Yes, Burmeister. Someone who is actually willing to pay for it is, of course, even better.
I actually had it in my Panamera Turbo, do you remember that?
Yes.
That has pretty much dismantled everything already, don't you think? Yeah, it has.
It was already good.
But of course, it's an extra cost, I think, like a good 5,000 euros. So you have to consider whether you can really hear the difference. That's where you come in, of course, because everyone has their own wallet. But with the Buster or something, that should work, right?
It's fun, definitely. I like it.
So let's move to the conclusion with the new and impressive Panamera 4S e-hybrid, which we've extensively tested today. I drove both previous generations before switching to electric mobility, offering a unique view on automotive evolution. And I have to say that now the third model series facelifts, let's leave those aside for a moment. I really believe it's the best Panamera of all time.
Yes, the overall package here is absolutely perfect.
And I suspect, I don't know exactly, of course, Porsche doesn't really show their hand there. Probably the last Panamera as well.
Hopefully not, right?
Because I believe the next Panamera will probably be fully electrified or presented alongside the Taycan, much like they have successfully integrated other models into their lineup. Naturally, I can't be entirely certain, because the Taycan might be a similar vehicle for the typical Panamera customer. We'll definitely be surprised, but what I can say for all those who say, I'm not yet taking the step into electromobility to the Taycan, where I see myself more. With these two distinct drives, I definitely think they experience and enjoy the best of both worlds. And I mean experience in a positive way, because the electric motor is fun for everyday use. And of course, driving with the combustion engine is fun when it comes to bringing high performance to the road, giving you the thrill of harnessing the car's full potential and enjoying the power. You have a nice mix of a long-distance vehicle where you can really enjoy the journey. You could comfortably drive to picturesque Lake Garda, as long as you stay alert and manage your fatigue to ensure a safe trip. Because this car is just pure relaxation in my eyes.
Yes, really.
But in Sport Plus mode, you can, like here in Oschersleben, let the car fly around the track for a few exhilarating laps, truly sensing its sporty potential and experiencing the thrill of driving at its limits.
Absolutely, and he can indeed do that.
And paired with the sports exhaust system, I mean, I just have to hear it one more time before we get into our electric. It's just emotion, right? Yes.
Emotion.
Write it down in the comments. Do you need this sporty sound, or do you say, no, I've taken the next step. I can only drive purely electric with electric sound or without electric sound. I have to say, such an awesome combustion sound in a Porsche, whether it's a 6-cylinder like here or an 8-cylinder, even in the Turbo SE hybrid. It's simply incredibly nice, right? Well,
it's somehow also truly irreplaceable.
Well, I was born in 1975, so I'm between both worlds, blending old ways and new trends. I don't see that as a problem, since I drive fully electric every day. His time with the Mercedes EQS was enlightening. You'll soon see what's coming next. Stay tuned. And on the weekend, you can take a nice drive to Elbach, right?
Sure, why not?
No need to be ashamed as an electric vehicle owner, right? Nonsense. Where we started the video is also where we'll unfortunately end it, namely at the Porsche Center Magdeburg. I can only recommend that you come to the Porsche Center Magdeburg and test drive the new Panamera. Sure, of course, you can also visit any nearby Porsche Center. Here you'll find a limousine that combines sporty genes with cutting-edge electromobility for an exceptional driving experience. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. Please give it a thumbs up. Feel free to share your thoughts and opinions on the new Panamera 4 SE Hybrid down in the comments below. And yeah, go ahead and see if you're already in the Simple Electric community group. We'd love it if you could support us with a subscription. And we'll see each other very soon in one of the upcoming videos. Stay healthy and see you soon. Yours truly, Ollie. Hey, Stefan. I think it's always really great that Porsche manages to create such a beautiful car without ruining it with something like a shark fin or something similar, right?
Exactly how it should be, as we've envisioned.
Can't the other manufacturers manage that? I just don't get it.
Me too.
Maybe you know it. Write it in the comments.